This is the story of a boy who was sexually reassigned as a child due to a medical accident. David Reimer's story began like any other, filled with the promise and innocence of a newborn. Born in 1965 in Winnipeg, Canada, David, known then as Bruce, was a healthy baby boy. His twin brother Brian shared that blank slate, their futures brimming with possibility. But fate had a cruel twist in store. At just 8 months old, a routine medical procedure went tragically wrong. Circumcision, a common practice, turned into a nightmare during Bruce's turn. The equipment malfunctioned, irrevocably damaging his penis. Amidst the despair, a beacon of hope appeared in the form of Dr. John Money of Johns Hopkins University, a renowned psychologist and sexologist who was developing a reputation as a pioneer in the field of sexual development and gender identity, based on his work with intersex patients. Money was a prominent proponent of the theory of gender neutrality, which suggests that gender identity developed primarily as a result of social learning from early childhood, and that it could be changed with the appropriate behavioral interventions. Dr. Money then proposed a radical solution sex reassignment surgery for Bruce. He believed that nurture, not nature, determined gender identity. Bruce, at 22 months, underwent the first of many surgeries. His testicles were removed, a rudimentary vulva was constructed by genital plastic surgery, and he was given the name Brenda. Thus began a life shrouded in secrecy, where Bruce was forced to live as Brenda. He became a pawn in Dr. Money's quest to prove his theories. Money believed that Reimer would be happiest in adulthood, living as a woman with functioning genitalia. Additionally, for Money, a case where identical twin boys were involved, where one could be raised as a girl, provided a perfect test of his theories. Little Brenda, oblivious to the storm, began her life as a girl. Brenda was raised under the optimum gender rearing model, which was the common model for sex and gender socialization and medicalization for intersex youth. Tea toys, clothes and activities, all tailored to societal expectations of femininity, were given to her. Dr. Money's involvement in Brenda's life was all-encompassing. He became a constant figure, monitoring her development. Annual visits to Dr. Money's office were intense, intrusive sessions. Dr. Money subjected Brenda and Brian to disturbing sexual rehearsals. According to John Colapinto's 2001 biography of David Reimer, the therapy sessions Reimer and his twin brother Brian underwent with Dr. Money included inappropriate and unethical practices. Money theorized that childhood play simulating certain adult behaviors was important for gender development, and he pressured the twins to engage in such play. These sessions left deep emotional scars. As Brenda grew older, the dissonance between her assigned gender and her innate sense of self became difficult to ignore. She was a tomboy at heart, preferring rough-and-tumble play. Her discomfort with her female body grew, a constant reminder of the surgery. The charade began to crumble under the weight of Brenda's truth. Her resistance to Dr. Money's interventions grew stronger. As David grew older, he was given female hormones that caused him to develop breasts. For a while, Dr. Money reported that David was doing well and behaving like a typical girl, very different from his twin brother. David and his brother went to school in Winnipeg. Around age 14, David started going to a different school. Later, he was taught at home alone instead of going to school. By the time he was 13, David was very depressed. He told his parents he felt so sad and upset that he would rather die than see Dr. Money anymore. School became a battleground for Brenda. The relentless teasing and isolation chipped away at her fragile sense of self. Brenda's relationship with her parents deteriorated further. Her rebellious streak clashed with their attempts to maintain normalcy. At 13, Brenda's father revealed the truth about her past. The revelation brought a sense of relief and validation. Brenda decided to reclaim her birth identity as a male, choosing the name David. David was determined to reclaim his life and live authentically. David's transition back to his true gender was fraught with challenges. He underwent surgeries to reverse the physical changes imposed upon him. Each procedure was a step towards reclaiming his body. The media frenzy brought both support and scrutiny. David became an accidental advocate for debates on nature versus nurture and medical ethics. Despite the challenges, David persevered. In 1990, he married Jane Fontaine and would adopt her 3 children. He found some solace in his relationship with her. He became a father, finding joy in a role that had once seemed unimaginable. David's life was a testament to the power of self-discovery and resilience. The scars of his past ran deep, manifesting in depression, anxiety, and PTSD. The medical community grappled with the fallout of David's case. Dr. Money's theories were called into question, his methods condemned. David's story highlighted the dangers of medical intervention without informed consent. Despite belated apologies, the damage was done, and David's trust in authority was shattered. His brother Brian died from an overdose of antidepressants in 2002. On the 2nd of May 2004, his wife Jane told him she wanted to separate. On the morning of the 4th of May 2004, Reimer drove to a grocery store's parking lot in his hometown of Winnipeg and shot himself in the head. He was 38 years old. He and Brian are buried in St. Vital Cemetery in Winnipeg. Their parents believe the damaging therapy sessions with Dr. Money were a major reason why both David and Brian died at a relatively young age. His death served as a heartbreaking reminder of the lasting impact of trauma. David's legacy extends far beyond the tragedy of his death. Although his story is undeniably tragic, it has led to important changes and increased awareness. His case highlighted the profound harm that can result from unethical and misguided medical practices, especially those impacting vulnerable children. It challenged prevailing theories about the malleability of gender identity and emphasized the importance of personal autonomy. His story continues to ignite conversations about gender identity and medical ethics. His courage in speaking out paved the way for others to share their stories. David Reimer's life left an enduring mark on the world. His story reinforces the importance of protecting children, respecting human rights, and supporting individuals' right to self-determination. Ultimately, remembering David Reimer strengthens our collective resolve to build a more just, compassionate world.